The Spurs' Tim Duncan. In only his second NBA season, the former Wake Forest Demon Deacon has emerged as a superstar. The native of St. Croix in the U.S. Virgin Islands has become a hero in his homeland. And ironically, his path to the NBA was greatly influenced by a natural disaster in the Caribbean.
We are a tiny island in the middle of the Caribbean.
We are almost 3,000 miles from San Antonio.
But we watch him on every move he makes.
He is a national treasure.
I've got a room at the top of the world tonight. I can see everything tonight.
Growing up in the Virgin Islands, it was just home for me. I think I look back and I see a lot more that I really didn't catch at the time. It's an awesome place. It was a blessing for me to grow up there.
Before basketball entered his life, swimming was Tim Duncan's childhood passion.
He was a tremendous swimmer. You know, that's when the Virgin Islands first got a glimpse of Tim Duncan, the athlete. It was at the Country Day swimming pool as a dolphin, and he was tremendous.
You very rarely see him, because when he comes from school, he'll be ready to go to the pool to swim. He and his sister.
Swimming was a Duncan family affair. Tim's sister, Tricia, was a member of the 1988 Virgin Islands Olympic team.
It was a big dream of mine. I really, ever since I was so small, I wanted to grow up to be an Olympic swimmer, and tried for many years to try to get to it, but I just stopped too young.
We had all predicted that he would go to the Olympics, but he was too young to go at the time, and when his 4 years came up, of course he wasn't swimming at that time due to the hurricane.
Good evening. Hurricane Hugo is a monster tonight. Today it grew rapidly from a Category 2 to a Category 4 hurricane. It now has winds of 135 miles an hour. That's very dangerous.
The hurricane changed everybody's life here. We had to change our whole way of living. And for Tim Duncan, he lost his swimming pool where he trained at.
Around the time the Hurricane Hugo hit, it knocked out the pool that we swam in. Really messed it up a bit, and we started swimming in the ocean for a while. We kind of lost interest.
He didn't have the desire to swim because it was in the ocean. And in the ocean, people he don't like. He didn't like that because he knew that sharks was over there. So because of that, he took up basketball.
What I remember is we had a basketball net out in front of the yard, and tons of kids would come up, you know, and shoot ball, you know, at the hoop because that's where it was. Or he'd go down the street and play with them, you know, the guys in the street.
When I came here in 1991, I saw Tim on the basketball court. But Tim didn't have any skills at all. As time goes on, you realize that he like fell in love with the game.
He was a yearling, very young looking, but certainly from a basketball visionary, you could look at it and say, albeit undeveloped, almost like a Caribbean gem he was. Here's a young man, if given time, proper coaching, he's an anxious, willing worker. He's got a chance to be very special.
Tim flourished at Wake Forest, resisting the temptation of the NBA. He fulfilled a promise to his mother, Delicia, who died when Tim was 14, by earning his college degree.
My dad promised her that he'd see us through school and see that we all graduated from college, and that was a big part of why I stayed in school.
A local writer got hold of him after he made his announcement that he was going to stay and said, "Why did you decide to stay? You could have gone #1, you could have been a millionaire." The quote was exactly, "Why should I try to do today what I'll be better prepared to do at some time in the future?" And I said, wow.
With the first pick in the 1997 NBA draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Tim Duncan from Wake Forest University. 1997-98 Rookie of the Year Award goes to Tim Duncan.
Is he the best player in the league? He is to me. He's the most complete player.
Tim has awoken the sleeping giant, St. Croix. He has really put us on the map. The recognition that he has brought not only for himself, but for the Virgin Islands, and in particular St. Croix, is enormous.
He is the most popular personality, not just in the Virgin Islands, now in the Caribbean. He is the man.
We love you in the U.S. Virgin Islands, especially St. Croix.
very exciting to know that you can, it doesn't matter where you come from, that you can come from a beautiful small island and still make such a big impact on the world. And they're very proud of everything he's done, everything he represents, and the person that he is.
They say patience is a virtue, and to be here right now, to be in this situation, I can't ask for anything more.
Well, Tim Duncan will, in all likelihood, realize his dream to be an Olympian, not as a swimmer, but as a member of the USA basketball team that's expected to qualify for next year's Olympic Games in Sydney.